Hello, hello, hello. It's Dolly back with Mini Kit Monday with Becky, Daisy, Kathy, Leslie, Shannon, Tracy, and myself. All right, this is our mood inspiration piece for the month of September. My kit was based off of that mood inspiration piece using the Vicki Boutin Kaleidoscope collection with some other scrap papers from other collections thrown in there. And I used also field notes and all the good things, a few of those items in there. All right, in every collection, Vicki Boutin collection is neutral tones. So if you watched my first layout, it was all about her bright tone colors and layering pattern paper on top of pattern paper. This layout, I am using neutral, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to use a paper that has pre-printed elements on it. So if you look to the right, you can see there's like a ticket pre-printed, a brown tab, and then you have a little bit of that pink and red tab, and then another tab below. It all cascades down to the right. And so I'm going to show you how you can use that and incorporate it and show that it's not all pre-printed. All right, I took a scrap of wood grain paper and used my Creative Memory notebook punch. I'm using scraps to layer behind these photographs, which are two different photographs of my husband and my little guy, 5 years apart, out hunting. One is turkey hunting and one is deer hunting. All right, back to my layers. All right, you saw that I tore a pinkish red paper that has a flower print, but you're not going to see that flower print. Your eye is just going to pick up on that little bit of red that's peeking out behind the photograph. I have more layers that are going to be added behind those photographs, but right now I'm using this green strip of paper to the left, and I'm doing that as an anchor for your eye so that your eye doesn't fall off the page to the left. Even though I have all this going on to the right, sometimes your eye can fall off to a certain direction depending on how you are placing your embellishments and your layers and the tones of the layers. So I'm just making sure that your eye doesn't fall off to the left, and I'm going to use some other tips and tricks to help you along the way so that doesn't happen when people are looking at your layout. So I'm not done yet. There's going to be some other elements added. All right, so I added the chipboard, a die cut piece that says remember, that is in that dark brown with faded or muted black. I'm adding this green banner, which ties into that green ticket banner over there. All right, so that's two. I have three green elements, actually four, but so I have that green strip over there to the left, the banner at the bottom of the page, or the bottom of the photograph, and then you have the pre-printed green to the right, okay? Now let's see, what am I going to do next? Oh, I'm going to bring in this orangey yellow flower to layer behind that oblong frame, which also has some wording along the frame that says daily notes and observation. And I'm tucking in that yellow orange, which ties into that striped paper. So I have that going on right there. I have that tab that I added, which is kind of a charcoal black on one side, and I am going to flip it and use the green side. But right now I went to my Vicki Boutin alpha words, and of course this one says adventure. I'm going to place that up at the top, and then you will see me bring in some plus sign stickers that I will add right under adventure. And right now I'm going to add a little bit more of peeking through that red paper that has a pink tone to it. And the reason why I chose that is because if you look over by Remember, that pre-printed tab is a pink with a red tone to it. All right, and now I'm adding another piece of that wood grain over to the right. And then you're going to see me bring, okay, so I'm bringing in the plus signs, and then I'm going to bring in some stamps. If you notice to the right, there is a pre-printed, like coffee stained circle stamp, pre-printed on that 12 by 12 paper that's over that green tab. You'll definitely be able to see that it's blue in the close-ups. Sorry, I got interrupted. All right, so I'm taking out 2 circle stamps, and I'm going to stamp them over to the right where that blue circle is already pre-printed in this paper. That pattern is already pre-printed. And so that way it's going to tie everything in together. And it's not going to look like it's just standing out there alone. It all is going to tie in with all my other embellishments, with my photograph, and just give that illusion that that is not pre-printed underneath my stamping. All right. I mean, you'll be able to tell in the close-ups, but if you're going through the album, you're just going to think that maybe I placed those clusters there. All right. And so that is the conclusion of this layout. I have no close-ups at the end. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to them. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the bell button, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you go check out what the other ladies created this week and learn some tips from them. I have all their links to their channels listed below. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.